And press record. Okay, we're recording now. And share the screen. Okay, so we're over here. The formal meeting that we're having is not going to be that long. We just have 4.1. I already did some of 4.1 yesterday. I'll finish up 4.1 and you'll get your quiz, and that's about it. Okay, again, so far I've been able to keep the schedule, but as long as I keep the schedule, we're really ahead because I have some buffer days at the end. Okay, so most likely scenario, again, for today is I probably won't even have a formal break. We'll just get done with the material, then rather than break, we'll go straight to the quiz, and then during the quiz you can break if you want, and I'll put you into your separate groups. Okay, so we didn't have a quiz last week because of the test, but you remember how the quizzes were. So I'll put you into groups of either 3 or 4. Star will go around and help as necessary. So I'll most likely be in the main room, but I'll sneak into a breakout room once in a while. But Star will go from room to room if you think you need help. Put your first and last name down and the first and last name of everybody else in your group. Okay, so your object is you get all the problems right, but make sure that all your teammates get it right. Okay, and then email it to me at the end of class, which is 1 o'clock. If you finish early, you can just leave. All right, so you have everybody's name in your group. I will look at all of them quickly, but I'll only grade one of them, and everybody will get the same grade. Okay, so since you don't know ahead of time who I'm going to grade, the only way to be sure that you get full credit is to make sure everybody else in your group gets it right. Okay, so once you get all the answers right, don't leave yet. Make sure that everybody else in your group has it right. Then that way, if everyone has it right, it doesn't matter who I picked, and you'll get full credit. And that's what happened the last couple of quizzes anyway. Almost everybody got the full 5, and that's good because then not only do you get it right, you can, talk it up with everybody else in your group to make sure that they have it correct also. Is that right? And that's what's going to happen. Okay, we have a 4-day weekend. Again, we don't meet on Friday anyway, but if you have any other CSM classes on Fridays, it's a 4-day weekend. No class on Friday, no class on Monday. Our next class would be Tuesday the 16th. Okay. And looking much further ahead, our next exam is Thursday the 25th. Okay, it'll cover chapters 3 and 4. Okay, I'm already done with 3. And we have chapter 4. Please notice for chapter 4, we're not doing the entire chapter. 4, 1, 2, 5, 6, and 7. There is a 4.3. There is a 4.4. We're not scheduled to do it. Okay, so we won't. Okay, so the next exam will cover chapters 3 and 4. You will notice, however, on the schedule, in order for me to have all the exams on Thursdays, I will have to keep going on with new material. Okay, so on the schedule, at least, I'm done with chapter 4 next Thursday, the 18th. Okay, whether that actually happens or not, it doesn't really matter. I can push it into here. But in any event, I would have actually gotten started with some of chapter 5 on the week of February the 22nd. But the exam on the 25th will just be 3 and 4. It's basically 2 chapters for a test. So, the first test was here, the second test is here, third test will be 5 and 6 and so on. Okay. So the coverage for the next exam will be 3 and 4, even though I will get started with chapter 5. All right. So that's where we're at. Okay, so I'll go ahead and get started. If you have any questions, go ahead and put it in the chat if you wish. But all we have left for today was the rest of 4.1, but it was all word problems. So let me go over that. And one change that I'm making for problem 13, there was an A and a B. Let's skip 13B. Okay, we're only going to do 13A. It doesn't really work well in this environment. If we were meeting face-to-face on campus, I can be able to write stuff on the board. I don't have a board here, so it doesn't really make sense. So skip 13B. And I'll write that over here. So 4.1, skip 13B. How's that? Okay. So last time I left off with number 9. I'll try to knock off the rest and go from there. Okay, so we have some word problems. Assume linear depreciation. Okay, so 11. A factory owner buys a new machine for $20,000. After 8 years, the machine has a salvage value of $1,000. Find a formula for the value of the machine after t years when t is between 0 and 8. Okay, here it is. I'm going to put the book down because it's heavy, but I'll give you the important data right now. Okay, so today's Thursday the 11th. So we're in section 4.1. I'm doing problem 11. Okay, so the key data is it starts off at $20,000. So year 0. And then only $1,000 year 8. Year 8. Find a formula for the value of the machine after t years. T is between 0 and 8. Okay, so you're given t is time in years. F of t as a function is the value in money. So our ordered pair is t comma f of t. That's like x comma y. And we have 2 points. Well, if you have 2 points, you can come up with the equation of the line. Okay, and we can call this, let's say, value v, or t comma v, where v is for value. Okay, so write them as ordered pairs. If t comes first, it's 0 comma 20,000, and then 8 comma 1,000 as points. Okay, and right now, if I'm writing it like this, I'm not going to put the comma after the 20,000, because if I put a comma, it looks funny. It's 0 comma 20 comma, and hey, what's going on, right? So I'm leaving off the comma for 20,000, likewise for 1,000. So it's 0 comma 20,000, 8 comma 1,000. Okay, so at time t equals 0, that's like x. The value is 20,000. And then at time t equals 8, the value is 1,000. And it says linear depreciation, going down in a straight line. Okay, so these are 2 points. And now I find the slope. It becomes just like problem number 1, essentially, right? Or 3. To give you 2 points, find the equation of the line. Okay. So first I find the slope. So y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So 1,000 minus 20,000. Now I don't mind putting the comma, right? It doesn't look like this. So I can put the comma. 1,000 minus 20,000 divided by 0 minus 8. So 1,000 minus 20,000 is negative 19,000 divided by 8. Okay. Punch it in the machine. 2375. Per year, as it were. 19,000 divided by 8. 2375. Which means negative 19,000 divided by 8 is negative 2375. Okay, so this is the slope. So the value of this machine depreciates by $2,375 every year. Okay, the value goes down. All right, then I do the point slope form. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. I'm allowed to pick either this point or this point. I like this one because I like plugging in 0. So this is x1, y1. So 0 goes there. Negative 2375 goes there. And y1 was 20,000. 20,000 goes here. So y minus 20,000 equals negative 2375. X minus nothing is just X. Okay. And then just add 20,000 to both sides. Y equals negative 2375X plus 20,000. Okay, so that's the formula, except we're not supposed to have it in X and Y. The original was T and V. So just use T and V, I suppose. So T is like X, V is like Y. So V is equal to negative 2375T plus 20,000, and that's my answer. Okay. So find a formula for the value of the machine after T years. T is between 0 and 8. So there we are. That's my answer. And you may notice as a double check, if I plug in 0, I should get 20,000. That's easy, right? You plug in 0, 0 times that is 0 plus 20,000. A little bit harder, if I plug in 8, I'm supposed to get 1,000. Okay, let me try to uncurl the paper. So let me try to plug in 8. So V of 8 is negative 2375 times 8 plus 20,000. Okay, so let me double check if that's true. Yes, that comes out to be 1,000. So it double checks. Everything clicks, so to speak. It is what I wanted it to be, namely 1,000. Okay. All right, so that's it for that one. We have some other word problems. Okay, so let me go over the strategy. They have to give you two pieces of information, 2 points. $20,000 at the beginning, $1,000 after 8 years. Translate that into points, T comma V, T comma F of T, 0 comma 20,000, 8 comma 1,000. Find the slope, point slope form, come up with the equation. The equation is going to be in X and Y because all of our formulas are within X and Y, but then just quickly change it back to T and V. All right, so once I have this, X is T, Y is V, so it looks like this now. Okay. Okay, so 13 is similar. Can skip part B, just A. A factory owner installs a new machine costing $60,000. Its expected lifetime is 5 years. At the end of that time, the machine has no salvage value, which means it's worth 0. Find a formula for the value of the machine after T years, where T is between 0 and 5. Okay, so I'll put the important data down. So $60,000, year 0. And then it says after 5 years, it's worthless, literally. $0, year 5. So the same thing is going to be T comma V, that's like X, Y, or T comma F of T, where we're trying to find F of T. So my points are, so X is time. So at the beginning, year 0, it's worth 60,000. And again, right now, I don't want to put the comma here because I already put a comma here, right? If I put 0 comma 60 comma, then it might be confusing. Hey, what's all the commas, right? So I'm going to leave it off here. Can you see what the other ordered pair is? It's time and then value 5 comma 0. Like that. 0 comma 60,000, 5 comma 0. Find the equation. Right, so slope 0 minus 60,000. And now that I'm not writing it as order pairs, I can put the comma here, right? I don't want to put the comma here because there's already a comma there. But now there's no comma to get me mixed up, so I'll do that. Okay, so 0 minus 60,000 divided by 5 minus 0. Okay. Quick timeout reminder. Slope is y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1, or delta y divided by delta x, right? Put that on your cheat sheet if you wish, the next formula sheet. So that's negative 60,000 divided by 5. 0 minus 60,000 is negative 60,000, right? 5 minus 0 is 5. And that's negative $12,000 per year. Okay, so this machine depreciates by $12,000 every year. All right, now I throw it into the point slope form. So do I want to pick this one or this one? Well, they both have a 0, but I like 5 better than 60,000. So I'll pick this one as x1, y1. Remember, it doesn't really matter which one is your first point or your second point. So I'll pick this one. So I'll use this as my x1, y1. That's my m. Throw it into this thing. So y minus 0, I like that, equals negative 12,000, parentheses, x minus 5. Well, y minus nothing is y. Negative 12,000 x. Negative 12,000 times a negative 5 is plus 60,000. And there we go. Only last thing is change x and y to t and v. Okay, so x is t, y is v. So value is negative 20,000, negative 12,000 t plus 60,000, and that's my answer. And a quick double check. This one's easier to check. 0, comma 60,000. What happens when you plug in 0? Well, 0 times anything is 0. 0 plus 60,000 is 60,000. And when you plug in 5, you should get 0. Plug in 5. Negative 12,000 times 5 is negative 60,000. Negative 60,000 plus 60,000 is 0. So it checks. So everything works, so to speak. Okay. Right. Okay, 15 and 17, we have something involving the marginal concept. In economics, they talk a lot about the marginal. Okay, so suppose the cost to manufacture producing X units of a certain motorcycle is C of X is 220X plus 4,000. C of X is in dollars. Okay, so let's see what that means. C of X is equal to 220X plus 4,000. Okay, marginal costs. Okay. Now, I don't know how many of you have had economics. If you have economics to talk about something called the marginal, I'll make it real simple for us. The marginal cost is just the slope. Okay. Now, some of you have had econ, and they may have used some language like the cost of producing the next item. Okay. So if you have a particular cost, how much is it cost to produce the very next item? Okay. It's the slope. And that does not contradict anything you heard from your econ teacher. If your econ teacher says something like that, marginal cost, the cost of producing the next item, okay, that's correct. Okay, it turns out to be the slope for us. So the slope is just 220. So the cost of producing the next item is $220. to get the next item, in this case, whatever it is, a motorcycle or whatever, okay, the cost of getting the next motorcycle would be $220. Okay. And if you want to put that in your cheat sheet, you may, on your formula sheet. If I ask something about marginal, it's just a slope. So the slope is 220. Remember, this looks like mx plus b, slope and y-intercept. Try uncurl again. That's A. Let's see, where are we? B. B, find the cost of producing 500 motorcycles. I just plug in 500. 15B. C of 500, right? $220 times 500 plus 4,000. Punch it in the machine. Okay, so let's see, 220 times 500 plus 4,000. Oops, sorry. 220 times 500 plus 4,000. 220 times 500 plus 4,000. $114,000. Okay, and then part C. Use your answers to part A and B to find the cost of producing 501 motorcycles. Okay. Now, we could get the answer by just plugging in 501, but the whole idea behind the marginal cost is this is how much it costs to produce 500 motorcycles. To produce the next motorcycle, the 501st motorcycle, I just add the marginal. So in other words, the cost of 501 is 114,000 plus, so those of you who have had econ, your econ teacher might say, the cost of producing the next item, the next motorcycle, which is 220. So that means rather than plugging in here, I can just take the answer here and add another 220. And that's just going to be 114,220. Okay, so that's the concept of the marginal. Okay, so at a production level of 500, it costs $114,000. The marginal cost is 220. So to produce the next motorcycle, the next item, I just add 220, 114,220. Now, as a double check, you can see what would happen if I plug in 501 here. Okay, so let me go ahead and do that. So 220 times 501 plus 4,000. And yes, indeed, 114,220. So 220 times 501, I just put 501 right here. 220 times 501 plus 4,000, 114,220. But you can see it was a lot easier, it's much faster to just add 220 right over here and get the answer. Okay. All right. Okay, 17, similar. 17, suppose the cost of producing X electric fans is given by C of X is 450 plus 8X. Find the cost to produce 10 fans. Find the cost to produce 11 fans. Use your answers in part A and B to find the cost of the 11th electric fan. Use your marginal cost to approximate the cost of the 11th electrical fan. How does your answer compare with the answer in part C? Okay, somewhat similar. Okay, so let me make this disappear and see what we got. So C of X is 450 plus 8X. Okay, now, they don't ask for the marginal until part D, but the marginal is just the slope, that's 8. So marginal cost $8. Just the slope. All right, so they just asked for cost of 10 and cost of 11. Plug in 10. Plug in 11. So 450 plus 8 times 10. Punch it in the calculator. $530. Cost of 11. 450 plus 8 times 11. $538. $450 plus 8 times 11 is $538. Okay. So let's say that was part B, I guess. And then C. 17C. Use your answers in part A and B to find the cost of the 11th electric fan. Okay. Now, here's the logic. For 11 fans, 538. 10 fans, 530. So it asks for just the 11th fan. Fan number 11, I just take the difference between these two. I just subtract. Okay. If the cost of producing 11 fans is this, the cost of producing 10 fans is this. What's the difference? Just one fan. So we're finding the cost of fan number 11, the 11th fan. So it's 538 minus 530, which is $8. Okay, so that's part B. This is part C. Okay, so after I make 10 fans, it costs 530. 11 fans total was 538. So if I'm asking just for the 11th fan, it's only one fan. It's the 11th one out of the sequence. It's $8 more, right? I went from 530 to 538. Okay. And then part D just says use the marginal cost to approximate the cost. And how does your answer compare? Okay, well, they're the same. So we just said over here, marginal cost is $8. So same as the answer to part C, as we had expected to. Okay. So the marginal cost is 8. I actually found the difference between C11 and C10. 538 minus 530, it was 8, so that confirms that we did it right, the marginal concept. Okay. All right, if you have any questions, feel free to ask or unmute yourself, but we're doing 19, and after 19, we're done, and it's not even noon yet, so we'll have plenty of time for you to do the quiz and then have a nice weekend. Okay, so 19 is the last one. (19) 2 points A and B move along the x-axis, so x-axis. After t seconds, their positions are given by the equations. Okay, so point A, x equals 3t plus 100. B, x is 20t minus 36. Okay, which point is traveling faster? Which point is farther to the right? Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so let me write down the important data. So point A, (3t plus 100). B, 20t minus 36. A, which point is traveling faster? Okay, the faster one is the higher slope. So which is the greater slope between A and B? A, the slope is 3. B, the slope is 20. So the answer would be B. A. So faster is the larger slope. Larger rate of change. Okay, this slope is 3, this slope is 20. Okay, so A, M is 3, B, M is 20, 20 is bigger. Okay, so B is faster. Okay, part B. Which point is farther to the right when t equals 0? Just plug in 0. T equals 0. So point particle A, x is 3 times 0 plus 100, which is of course 100. For point B, x is 20 times 0 minus 36, which is negative 36. So which one's further to the right? Point A. Point A is further to the right. It's at 100. Point B is at a negative. Right? That's all. And then finally C, and we're done. C, at what time t do A and B have the same x coordinate? Okay, so you can almost think of this as a race. A starts off ahead of B. Okay. It's 136 units ahead, but B is going faster. Okay, so you can imagine going like this, but then sooner or later, B is going to catch up and eventually surpass it, right? Because it's going faster, right? So A has a head start, but has a much smaller slope. So even though A is ahead, B is going faster, so B is going to catch up. And then if they keep going, it'll eventually surpass. So at what time will that happen? They have the same x value. That means I just set them equal to each other. That's all. So part C, (19C), same x coordinate. I set them equal. So same x coordinate means set them equal. Okay, set them equal to each other. So I just make this equation equal to this equation, solve. So 3t plus 100 equals 20t minus 36. Okay. This was for A, this was for B. Set them equal. Okay, so that doesn't look too bad. Let's see, get all the t's on the same side. So I'll be done in just a moment, folks. So if you have any questions, ask now or put it in the chat. And if not, we'll go straight to the quiz. And it's not even 12 yet, so we might end early, which I'm sure you don't mind. So you have until 1 o'clock. I doubt you would need until 1 o'clock, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so subtract 3t, right? Minus 3t minus 3t. 110 equals 17t minus 36. Add 36. 136 equals 17t. divide by 17, divide by 17, cancel, cancel. Punch it in the machine. 136 divided by 17 is 8. What are we doing? Are these seconds? Yeah, it says seconds. Eight seconds. So the picture must be something like this. Okay, so we said A, let's see, was it A? Yeah, A has a head start, but it's going slower than B, right? So as they're moving along, this one's coming over. So after 8 seconds, they catch up. B catches up, and then after a while, B just overtakes because it's going faster, right? So that's the scenario over here. That right over there. Okay, and I'm done, folks. In case the focusing wasn't good, I'll show this to you again if you want to catch the video later. I'm raising up the paper. You can see, just so you can catch everything. And I know when I do this, it's fast, but if you look at the video, of course, you can always pause, fast forward, rewind as much as you wish, in case it doesn't show up that clearly. Yeah. It'd be nice to have a new document camera where I can focus, but until that happens, this is the best we can do. Well, to me, the idea is, we meet face to face. Don't know if that's going to happen in the fall. We'll see how it goes. But there's everything. Okay, I think you can get all that. Okay, so I'm done, folks. So anybody have any questions? If so, unmute yourself or put it in the chat. Otherwise, we're done. We'll go straight to the quiz, of which you have more than an hour. I mean, that's even more time than I give you on exams. And then have a good weekend. Reminder, there's no school on Monday, no school tomorrow either. We don't have school anyway, but if you have any other CSM classes, tomorrow's a holiday, Monday's a holiday. We meet again on Tuesday. I can mark these off now and just have a nice 4-day weekend. Okay, so any questions, please? Otherwise, we'll go straight to the quiz. All right, so seeing nothing and hearing nothing, let's go straight to the quiz. So get your cell phones out or be ready to do a screenshot of the quiz. Just over a little bit. All right, so here we are. I'll hold it for maybe 20 seconds. You have two functions, f of x, g of x. F of x is 4x plus 12. G of x is x squared plus 1. Number one, find f g of x. That means you multiply them. F times g. Looks like it's just going to be FOIL, right? 2 and 3 are definitely harder. F of g of x, g of f of x. Look back in your notes how to do those. Okay. So number one, find the product, fg, which means you multiply. Looks like it's going to be FOIL. Number two, f of g of x. And number three, g of f of x. Okay, I will now assume that you all have it. So I'm going to put this down. So go ahead and get started. I'll set up your breakout rooms. Okay, I will mostly be in the main room. Star will come and visit, various rooms. You're probably going to have a group of either 3 or 4. Okay, so I'll put that away. Go ahead and get started, and I'll set up your rooms. Remember, please put down your first and last name and first and last name of everybody else in your group. Okay? I might take off points if you don't do that. I will grade just one person in your group, so if you want to be sure to get full credit, then all of you make sure that everybody has the same thing, right? Okay, so I will stop recording. We don't need to record anymore. You have more than an hour.